Welcome to another Nucida training. Today I would like to explain the differences between X-ray's test execution and sub-test executions. And at the end of the video, I will show you how you can easily change a test execution to a sub-test execution and vice versa. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment below. A test execution is an issue type that aggregates a user-determined collection of tests. It monitors and verifies if those tests are working as expected in a target context and environment. Through the overall execution status, which is updated as each test is being performed, the user is informed about the progress of the test execution, including which tests passed, failed, are being executed, or are waiting to be performed. An association between a test execution issue and a test issue is called a test run. Hence, a test execution is composed of a list of test runs. A test execution issue can be assigned to a tester. It is also possible to assign individual test runs to several testers. A subtest execution has the same functionalities as the test execution issue type. The difference between them is that the subtest execution is a subtask and can be created within the context of a requirement. Creating a test execution as a subtask of the requirement issue provides you the ability to track executions in the Agile board. Another advantage of subtest executions is that the mentioned requirement could not be closed before all related subtest execution would not be closed. For instance, this ensures in Agile environments that all acceptance tests of a user story are tested successfully. Otherwise, the user story could not be closed. How can you create test executions and subtest executions in XRay? First, I would like to create a user story, which represents a requirement with its acceptance tests that needs to be developed and tested. I named it User Story DM74. Now I create a new test for this user story and assign both together. I am going to create two test steps. I will clone the second one from the first and modify it a bit. Let's turn back to the user story. Now you can see our created test linked to the user story. The test represents the X-ray test case issue type. Of course, the test status is not run because we didn't establish a test execution yet. But now I would like to create a subtest execution for the user story DEM74. You could define additional information like the software version and the test environment. I leave these fields empty and click on the Create button. Then the subtest execution is created, and after clicking on this arrow and then click again here, you can see the test run with the two test steps of our created test case, DEM75. Back to our use case, you can see our subtest execution now, which is technically handled like a Jira subtask. But what can you do if you intend to create a test execution instead of a subtest execution? How could you fix it? Most X-ray users do not know how to deal with that. Here is my hint for you. Just click at the subtest execution again to display the execution content. By the way, the overall status is to do because we haven't executed the test. Now click on the three dots above on the right side and then the Convert to Issue menu item. The Convert data mask appears. Then select the test execution issue type in the New Issue Type field and click the Next button. Now our subtest execution became a test execution. The test execution would not be treated as a subtask of our user story anymore. Of course, you can change a test execution to a subtest execution too. So go to the three dots menu again and select Convert to Subtask. Then select our user story in the Select Parent Issue field and click the Next button and the Finish button. Now we have established a subtask to our user story. Therefore, we need to execute one missing step to get our subtest execution back again. Just click on the three dots menu again and select the Move menu item. Activate the Change Issue Type option at the Move Subtask Data Mask and click the Next button. In Step 2, select the subtest execution and click the Next button. Also do this in Step 3, which brings you to Step 4 to confirm the requested move from subtask to subtest execution. Now we have our subtest execution again. Now you know the differences between X-ray test execution and subtest execution, and you can change your execution between both issue types. This might be helpful to correct any user faults. I hope this video helps you understand more about test tools and how you can use them to improve your QA activities. If you like it, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell to never forget our upcoming sessions. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment to learn more. Please also check out our other videos. Happy testing. See you next time.